Hey everybody, it's Celeste Joan, and today I'm going to be announcing my NaNoWriMo 2020 project for this upcoming November, which is in less than a week by the time that you guys are seeing this. That's crazy. I feel like July just happened. My mind's still back in July and August. I don't know how we're already in November. This year has just been absolutely whack coming to time. It's just not linear. It's like time will be real fast and it goes really slow and then it'll go real fast and it's just weird. It's just weird. But today I'm going to be announcing my NaNoWriMo project for this upcoming November. And it's a new project. Every November at least I like to start a new project, which I will be calling Project A, because it's nothing special. It's just because of the main character's first name. And it is the first real, it's not a romance book, but it's one of the first real books where I've actually had a romance that is important to the plot, and I actually want it there. It's not something that I just randomly throw in during a writing sprint. For those of you who have seen my previous videos, I have said I am a pantser, a plantser. I don't want to say that I'm turning into a plotter, because I feel like pantsing and plantsing is part of who I am as a writer. I'm a discovery writer, we'll put it there. But I have basically the entire book. I have a rough outline of what's going to happen, and before November comes, I want to have a solid outline. Make sure that the story can flow, because otherwise the middle of the story is where it's just going to be a jumbled mess, and I know it's going to be a jumbled mess, but that's fine. For Project A, I have a rough outline just kind of typed out on Scrivener, just kind of running through the story. Here's some of the stuff that I want to happen, here's the entire plot of what happens, and I need to go through and add these dates into my master calendar so that I know exactly what timeline I'm working with, because a lot of my books take place over longer periods of time. Project Restart was 1.5 years, Project BT was only a few months. Project A I think is going to be 1.5 years or 2 years possibly. But I have about 3,000 words of just outline, and just a zero outline, it's not a zero draft, but a zero outline that I want to work with over the next 2 weeks, because I have 2 weeks until Nano by the time when I'm filming this. Over the next 2 weeks, I want to make this into a better outline, so I have somewhat of a structure to go on, because as I'm still doing Mill Wordy, I need to write 80,000-ish words next month, because I kind of slacked off in October, but that's okay. I still have time to catch up. It's fine. Also, I'm still ahead because I went way overboard on September's goal, but I need to write 80,000 words, which is a lot of drafting, but it's a lot easier for me to draft words than it is for me to rewrite them, apparently. I learned that this month. It is hard for me to rewrite stuff, especially when I'm going from paper and taking all those notes to computer. And I'm also considering changing the tense of the book again, which I had this crisis in July as well, where I'm okay, the book was originally in past tense. I put it into present tense because I thought that's what suited it, and now I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I want to go back to past tense. I don't know. I feel like I need to write the book out in both and see which one I like better, because I honestly don't know. And here's my thing. I'll make another video about this, but the thing with present tense is that it is, you are the character. You are the character, and you are getting the inside of exactly how the character feels in the moment. And then with past tense, the character is telling you the story. So it's kind of just which one you want to do. Which one? If you want the reader to feel like they are the character, which is how I like to read, or do you want the reader to be told a story, which is how a lot of people like to read. They like to be told the story, and I like to feel like I am the story. It's just a preference. I feel like I might have to go back to past tense. The thing is, when I write in past tense, I keep tense changing. I can't stay in past tense. It doesn't work. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but we can do it. This is very off topic. But anyway, we are going into NaNoWriMo, which means I'm starting a new project. So a little overview of this project. It is a standalone book, but all of my books are connected, and there's 5 other books that go with this book. So there's Amelia, who is the main character. Her name might change, but I really like it as Amelia right now. So there's Amelia, the main character, and her dad is the brother to my other main character from another book. So her aunt is a different main character in her series. So we get to see all of the kids from that first series growing up a little bit. They all have their families and they all have kids who are now teenagers and dealing with things, and we just get to see how all the relationships evolved, and I love it so much. It's like you can read the book without ever having read the previous series that it's kind of related to. But like if you've read that, you get to have these little cameos from characters that you already know, and you get to see how their relationships play out, and it's just super, super exciting. But basically Amelia is, I think, a freshman in high school. I think she's like 15 or 16. So she's fresh into high school, and she is dealing with issues involving her family and her mom's health, and she is also crushing on an older guy who works at the place that she works at and that her parents run. And I don't want to say too much without like spoiling anything, but if you like if you're my friend and I ever like end up talking to you about my stories, I just gush about them so much because they're like my little children, and I'm like helping them grow and evolve, and I just love them so much. But basically she's falling for this guy who is, to be honest, too old for her. It's like 4-year age gap, but she's in high school, he's out of high school. That's the thing, is that it just doesn't work. They're not at the same path in life. They're in two completely separate walks of life right now. So, you know, like if it's like 28 and 32, that can work, but like 15 and 19, no. That this little girl is crushing on the guy, as well as dealing with stuff happening in the family and going through the thing that she has to go through in the middle of the book. I can't say too much about it, even though I really, really want to. Basically a lot of stuff happens that I can't talk about, or else I'll just spoil everything. And I'm so excited to explore this character because I get to see her as a little girl in like a standalone series type thing from before. And now I get to see her all, like, not all grown up, but like in high school and with her friends, and it's just so exciting. As per normal, it is a contemporary YA novel with more romance in it than I normally put in books because it is part of the plot. It'll be interesting to delve into relationships and romance because I haven't really done that before. So it'll be cool and interesting. But my goal is before November is to get a little bit more outlined, have a more structured outline so I can really hit the ground running November 1st and get a full draft done by the end of November. That is the goal. That is the goal. I mean, we're also finishing up the first semester of senior year, so it's gonna be a lot. Oh my gosh, we're finishing up the first semester of senior year. That is crazy, that is crazy, that is crazy. Oh my gosh. No, thank you. I just want to get a more structured outline done before November starts so I can hit the ground running and just write all of the things. Write all of the things. Am I crazy? Absolutely, but I love it. I love every second of it. That is all I have for you guys for today. I just wanted to give a quick little announcement of what I will be working on for NaNoWriMo 2020. Yeah. Super, super exciting. In the comments down below, let me know what you guys, if you guys are doing Nano, let me know what you're working on. If you're not doing Nano, absolutely A-okay. What are you guys working on in the meantime? What are your goals for the next month-ish or so? But that is all I have time for today, and I will see you guys all hopefully next week. Bye!